Welcome back to the Daily Dose, your daily dose of support, sponsored by Live and Well Communities. Now, as we continue to build out our self-care toolkit, we're really going to be talking about the mind-body connection, wanting to understand that as we experience symptoms like maybe possibly depression, that it can translate into how we work and operate, translating to things like low energy, eating more, sleeping maybe even possibly less. So today's guest, we have Rajiv John. Hi, welcome Rajiv. How are you doing today?
Good, I'm doing good. Thank you, Sean. Thank you for asking me to do this. Yeah.
So Rajiv is a practitioner. He's a certified practitioner of mind-body skills. And he's also a local LCSW, a behavioral health consultant for one of our community health centers. And in addition to that, he oversees trauma-informed care for this local health center. So Rajiv, we're so thankful that you're here to join us as we think about that mind-body connection as we work to stay healthy, both physically, psychologically, mentally, and spiritually. And so we're really excited that you're going to share some tools and techniques for us to think about staying healthy as that mind-body connection is so present, and how to work to really alleviate that depression and reduce that anxiety. So can you tell us a little bit about body connection?
Yes. This is a good time to talk about how our mind and our body is so connected, because every day this news is actually we feel that in our body, right? I mean, this everything that goes on in our mind affects our body, and how we take care of our body affects our mind too, like thought and our emotions and feelings and all of that. So before I move on further, I just want to talk about a little bit of depression and anxiety. I mean, that is how what we experience. Everybody in sometime during their life experience depression and anxiety. Now when we talk about depression, I'm not talking about clinical depression. And if we are experiencing clinical depression, like extreme low of our mood and feelings of hurting ourselves, or can't even get up from the bed, if we are experiencing like that, anything like that, then we need to seek help from an expert. So I want to share this. This is let me see if I can. This is a behavioral health response hotline number. That is a 314-469-6644. Take this down. Call that number anytime that you need to. That is the 24/7 number that someone will be able to assist you, even on a weekend, even in the middle of the night. So take that with you, keep that with you. And then we also need to we need to take care of our health. We need to take care of our body. So that is something I want to talk a little more today. So we really need to know, the first thing that we need to know is that recognizing what is happening within ourselves. So I want to start. I want to start with just a short exercise. Stay with me, and then after that, we can talk a little more. So this is a breathing exercise. There is a little bit of mindfulness in there, and so I will walk you through it. And when we are done at the end, I will ring this bell. This is my I ring this bell like that, so you will know we are done. Okay, and so sit comfortably and let yourself relax, and find a position where you feel more comfortable and relaxed, where you can, your body can be as comfortable as you can. Take a couple of deep breaths, and then um, excuse me, close your eyes. Close your eyes. Just bring your attention to your breath. Notice your breathing. Feel that air. Feel that air in your nose. Feel that air going into your body and just observing it. Now, start breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Keeping your attention with your breath. Feeling that air, noticing your breath. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now allow your in-breath to be a little deeper and longer. Imagining your belly is soft and relaxed. Allowing your belly to be relaxed and soft. And allowing your belly to expand when you breathe in. And when you breathe out, you're breathing out even longer. Gentle, slow, longer out breath through your mouth. Noticing your belly falling. It is a relaxing way of breathing. It is called soft belly breathing, or it is also called a diaphragmatic breathing. Activating your diaphragm that is sitting between our lungs and our stomach. Keeping your attention with your breath, feeling that air flowing in and out. Now, notice your feet. Notice the floor beneath your feet. Feel how hard that floor feels. Notice your legs and notice the place where you are sitting, how you're being supported. Maybe notice your shoulders, noticing that your shoulders and your body beginning to relax. Noticing your face, again, that air around your face. Noticing how cold or warm that air feels. Now, notice the thoughts coming in Just notice it. Maybe notice any feelings or emotions attached to it. Just see if you can name it. Maybe noticing um, some anxiousness, maybe some worry, maybe it might be some anger, some frustration there. Just noticing it, not trying to change anything, not trying to evaluate or investigate, just noticing what comes in. Let them come and let them go. Also notice some thoughts coming in, flying by. Maybe it's Friday, all the things that we need to do, running short of certain things we need to get. It is okay. Just let them come, let them go. Just we are just observing it. We are just being an observer of what is coming in. Now, I want you to bring your attention gently back to your breath. Feeling that air and feeling your breath. Following that breath, following that air, going in through your nose, deep into your belly, and out through your mouth. Slow, long out breath. Each time you notice any distraction, it could be a noise, or it could be a thought, or it could be maybe a body sensation, maybe a pain in the knee, or maybe some tension in our back. Anytime you notice that, just notice it, maybe name it, and bring your attention back to your breath. That deep, soft belly breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Each time when we get distracted, bring your attention back to the breath. Noticing more relaxation. Letting go with our out breath. Now, gently bring your attention back to your room, the chair you're sitting, or the floor that is supporting you, your hands and your feet, and bring your attention to the sensations of your body, and noticing maybe my voice, and when you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. So, what was it like?
It was very relaxing to just get to slow down and just get to kind of pause from everything else going on and getting to focus on me.
Yes, yeah. So I did few things. Okay. in this. I mean, it was about maybe a little over 10 minutes. So one thing was that diaphragmatic breathing. Diaphragmatic breathing, that is the one of the best way that we can relax our body and our mind. The diaphragm sits here below our chest. It's just like a dome like that. And when we breathe deep into our belly, it gets pushed down like that. It is just like pressing the brake in a car. That is what it's like in our bodies, kind of pressing the brake in our own stress and helping ourselves to relax. Okay, so now the catch is that we can't stop our mind. Our mind, as long as we are alive, our mind is going to be spinning thoughts and feelings and all of that, distractions. There is no way we can stop that. So, but this is the best way to kind of bringing our thoughts or putting that under control, bringing our attention to our breath as we are breathing deep into our belly. If you watch a baby sleeping, you can see the belly going up and down, and that is how we are supposed to breathe when we are really relaxed. And so even when we are doing this practice, our mind is going to take us away from this practice, because get distracted and all these thoughts comes in, and it just carries away from with that thoughts. So we are not worried about it. We just letting it come and go. That is a difficult thing to do. It takes practice. So the more we practice, the better we get it. So that diaphragmatic breathing, that is one to help us relax. And then another part of that is that being mindful. So I kept saying that, just notice this, let it go, don't get attached to it, just observing. That observing here and now, that is the mindfulness part. So when we talk about anxiety, especially during the time of, time like this, when the news and everything, cause us to be anxious and worried. And so then, like I was saying earlier, our thoughts are like, it has a snowball effect. It's just we get catastrophize, and it is just like a snowball effect, and then we don't have any control where our mind takes us. So this is the best way to kind of put a stop to it. Mindfulness, and combining mindfulness and this diaphragmatic breathing. So So another benefit of this mindfulness is mindfulness is, bringing our attention to the present, here and now. What am I experiencing right now? So I don't know if you really, thanks, Ron. Yeah, so it could be that here and now, that is, it could be environment, it could be emotions, or it could be feelings. So one of the best self-care practice is teaching ourselves to be more mindful. I am sure I can remember when I was young. My life was much more mindful, because I remember walking around and looking at all these things, and so paying detailed attention. So when was the last time we had a chance to stop and look at a leaf, or maybe look at a bug, or maybe smell a flower? We don't do that these days, because we just live. Our body is here and now, but our mind and our thought is always either in the past or in the future, and we are not really paying attention, or enjoying that moment to moment experience. So that is what this mindfulness practice teaches us, which is actually a very good way of self-care. That present moment without any judgment. I mean, especially when we have pain, emotional pain or physical pain, that experiencing or acknowledging or knowing without any judgment, learning ourselves how to do that, that is such a beautiful skill. Just like, it's just being an observer of ourselves. It is, so that is what it's like. Not trying to change anything, just, yeah, I have a headache. Yeah. So this is headache is a perfect example. And if I know that I have a headache, and if I'm just holding on to that thought, that headache will just get larger and larger. I mean, it's just like looking at through a magnifying glass. But if I just acknowledge that I have a headache, and then I go on with other things that I am paying attention to, then I notice that that headache is not that bad. So, so that is the reason why we need to practice this mindfulness and relaxation practices. So, other things for self care is that like I said earlier, what happens in our body affects our mind. So, sleep, getting enough sleep is the most important thing. Sleep is when we have to have between 8 and 10 hours of sleep. Everybody needs that, and our body and our brain needs that sleep to rejuvenate. I mean, you know, um, we take care of our house, our cars and our household items much more than we take care of our body. Uh, you know, our brain and our body get serviced when we really sleep. That when we sleep, in the sense, it's just not just a nap. I'm talking about that good sleep where all that different phases. So that is very important. I mean, our immunity get stronger when we sleep. And then what we eat and drink, that is another big thing. you know what we eat, what we put in our body is what we're going to become. Our body is constantly replenishing. We all know that our hair grows, and in our we get dry skin. Dry skin is when the new skin grow underneath the old skin dies off, and that is what this dry skin. Just like that, our entire body is replenishing. We get a new liver in about a month, and new skeletal system in about 7 years. Brain, new brain in a year. I mean, that is what my limited knowledge. So, how do we get these new organs? It is from what we put in our body. So if we put healthy food, healthy natural food, without much chemicals and preservatives, and then our body will have good material to build new organs. So that means new good ingredients makes us good body parts and organs, right? So that is why it is important that we have a good fresh food as much as we can. Staying away from a lot of fried foods and soda and all of that. It's some of the things that we can do. I mean, we might not be able to eat just fresh homegrown fruits and vegetables all the time, but we can limit a lot of bad stuff, and then bring your um, we talked about mindfulness and experience it, right? So practice that every day, and then you might be able to notice that which food makes you feel better. I know that when I eat certain food, I feel so bad, groggy. And I know, like, I'm lactose intolerant, and me eating a lot of sugar, I mean, I used to be a sugar addict. and taking care of that, getting rid of that sugar really made me feel so better. I used to have this bad cough, and now that is gone. So we will be able to, identify which kind of food is better for me. And then, another thing is that everybody, when we are emotionally stressed or angry or feeling bad, we need to comfort ourselves, right? I mean, that is how we are built. So what do we usually do? Either we smoke or eat, or I mean, for me, the first thing I want to do is that go and get some chips. That salt and fat, that is a combination, is a very toxic, and that is a reason, and it really makes us feel good at that time. I don't know exactly, all the chemical reaction happening when we eat chips, but that is made to feel us that immediate comfort, which is really bad for us. So when we are, there is another thing that mindfulness is beneficial, like is that why do I want to have a soda? Why do I need to smoke a cigarette? Why do I need to eat now? Is that am I really hungry, or is that am I is it for to meet my emotional need or my physical need? So eating is a huge thing. That is another day of topic. It's emotional eating. So then connecting with others, especially during this time, everybody is talking about the social distancing. This morning, I was listening to a doctor who is talking about this. Okay, and he said it is not emotional distancing, because now we need to be emotionally connected, but that is, we need emotionally connected but physically distant. Physical distancing. So something I learned today this morning. It really makes sense. And this is the time we really need to make more connections. So, calling some, maybe an old friend, an old, our relatives, and we are really fortunate that we can connect. I mean, right now, we are all being connected, right? And yet we are physically distant, and find that hobbies. I mean, when we doing things that brings joy, we have to do more of that, and let that get out from all that negativity. I mean, the news itself is so bad. I mean, we need to know what is happening to keep ourselves safe, but not all the time, which really brings us down. That is what we don't want. And hobbies, and watch some silly stuff in the YouTube, or I know a lot of people are doing silly stuff to make people laugh. So we need to laugh. The more we laugh, the more we do things to make us happy, or bring a smile. It makes us healthier, and brings us our lives better. That is the best self-care. And exercising, it could be just sitting outside, getting fresh air. That is, maybe sitting in the balcony, outside, in the backyard, or wherever. Get some fresh air, and to listening to the birds and to the clouds flying by. Some mindfulness, or just here and now, enjoying our environment.
And there were just certain things that I had to laugh about, because something like, grabbing the chocolate in the moment feels so comforting, right? But then necessarily I don't feel so well afterwards, or I don't end up sleeping so well, because I'm then eating chocolate at 10 o'clock at night, even though it's very comforting in the moment, but it's not ultimately good for my body, my sleep, my relaxation then in the long term. And I think also something that just really sticks with me is that acknowledgement that experiencing anxiety and depression during this time is normal and natural, that we're all prone to it, And it's really about how do we then enact measures to take good care of ourselves to help to really fight that depression and anxiety, which we know in this time is to be expected, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I just want to say, Rajiv, thank you so much for sharing all of these amazing tips for us, that recognizing that how we treat our bodies impacts our mind, and what's happening in our mind impacts our body. So how do we both take good care of our bodies and our minds during this time? And really that saying uh, of being emotionally connected, which we need more of during this time, but remembering being physically distant, but that the two are very different, right? I can
That's right.
still be very emotionally connected to people and continue to foster those connections and
Yeah.
invest in them.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean I need to be physically close. I can keep that physical distance while building that emotional support.
That's right.
So thank you so much for joining us. To all of our viewers, whether you're viewing us live or whether you're viewing us maybe when you have time, please, please, please make sure that you share this important message with someone that you know that needs that daily dose of support, recognizing that, as Rajiv shared with us, we need to be building those emotional connections. So share with someone who you think could use that emotional connection, and be sure to share broadly. So again, Rajiv, thank you so much for joining us today. Be sure you tune in tomorrow as we have Dr. Lori Punch with us, talking to us about the facts that we need to be aware of and how to physically take care of our bodies to ensure our well-being. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. Take
Thank
care.
you.